two of the most successful bounty hunters in history.
I'm no doubt the best bounty hunter in the world, without a question. Without question, without discussion.
I mean, this is a high-stakes game. I mean, there's people out there that don't want to go back.
Tracking down fugitives no one else can find. No matter the cost, the distance, or the risk.
Get down!
They always get their man.
Samuel, let me see your hands if I see you. Freeze, Samuel!
Well, these are the times that try men's souls.
Leonard Padilla and Robert Dick are two of the most successful bounty hunters working in the nation today.
I think anybody that knows me and respects me for what I do will agree with it. If they don't, they certainly don't know what I'm about. Nor do they have any respect for the real job of bounty hunting.
After 5 years competing against one another, Leonard and Rob are back working together as partners. Their reunion is in large part due to the high-stakes style of bounty hunting the two men are accustomed to.
Most of the guys we're going after aren't people that just miss court or sitting at home on a couch. These are really, truly people on the run. We have a limited time to actually find them, go grab them, take them into custody, and bring them back to the jail or court system.
Their expertise and success rate doesn't come without a price. Depending on the case, Rob and Leonard demand as much as 40% of the bond amount as their fee. And it's no secret that bondsmen will usually exhaust all other resources before asking them for help.
People don't want to hire me, believe me. They don't want to hire me. Because if there's only 2 weeks left, is the only reason they're hiring me. Well, you know, we got to call that guy. I don't want to call him. You know how hard he is. He's, you know, self-anointed, self-appointed, egomaniac, self-centered, braggart. But if they want to solve their $75,000 bond problem, they got to call, and they got to pay.
When someone is arrested, provided it's not a capital offense, they generally have the right to bail out of jail. The most common way is to hire a bail bondsman. If the defendant misses a court date, they become a wanted person. The bail bondsman hires bounty hunters to find and arrest the individual. Bounty hunters are not associated with law enforcement. Nonetheless, they have the right to follow wanted people across state lines, break and enter their homes, and arrest them at any time. The first case at hand is Samuel Gonzalez. Gonzalez missed court 2 months ago and is running from felony weapons and battery charges.
Pretty much all the information that he gave the bondsman was BS, and none of it's matching. So, and then of course when he missed his first court date, there was, you know, no way to contact him. We're gonna head out to Oroville where he's supposedly staying.
Team members Kevin, Art, and Steve joined Rob and Leonard to assist in the capture.
Well, safety is the #1 factor in this job. I mean, you know, when we go into a confrontation, I mean, we're armed and prepared for the worst. I mean, you have to be. That's the only way to do it smart. I mean, there's no way you can go make an arrest unarmed and just assume that, oh, everything's gonna be fine, they're just gonna turn around and give up. I mean, that's not reality.
In California, bounty hunters can lawfully carry firearms as long as they meet the requirements of the state.
Hi, it's Rob with Vita Bail Bonds. Could we check a warrant on one of our guys? Make sure it's still active.
Rob calls the Butte County Sheriff's Department to confirm that Gonzalez's warrants are still active. If Gonzalez was arrested recently without the bounty hunters knowing, the bail bond may have been cleared and they would be making an illegal arrest.
Four warrants, 70,000.
Rob drives by the house to have a look before they make contact.
Yeah, it appears the window's pulled back with the curtain so that the wind can come in and out of the screen, so I would assume someone's home. Well, the front window is wide open, the curtain's pulled back so the Air can be blown through. There's a van out front. Can't really tell if it runs or not. Dog in the yard. Fenced yard.
Rob spots a patrol car in the area and briefs them on the situation.
Law enforcement has the same goal as us. I mean, they want to get the guy off the street and put him behind bars. So, you know, we're all in the same game. It's just a matter of whether they can play at this time or not. They said they chase him all the time. Said he's usually driving the van. That's the one that's parked out front. Said he will run, he will hide. The dog will come after us first. Kevin, you got a can of spray at all?
I have one, yeah.
Well, as long as somebody goes to the front with a can and somebody takes the back with a can.
I want to take the back with a gun.
But I just, you know.
When we first got there, law enforcement basically said, you know, you got to be careful. The guy's gotten away from us. I mean, they were willing to admit it, that he'd gotten away from us and their whole department several times. And they considered him to be somewhat dangerous and definitely elusive.
The team prepares to hit the house. Kevin drops Leonard off so he can watch the side of the house. Rob and Kevin will hit the front door, and Steve and Art will cover the back. They have the house covered on all sides. Rob and Kevin converge on the front door.
Hello. Hello.
Samuel, abre la puerta!
Get up. Get up. Hello. Someone come to the door. Spray. Is Art in the back? Hello. Need somebody to come to the door. It's coming down right now. Someone's in there and they're not opening the door, so keep an eye on this back. Huh? What? Get on out of there. Watch out. Watch out. Don't let him turn. Get over there. Get over. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Okay. Okay. Sam. 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 Samuel, let me see your hands if I see you. Open it.
Inside the house, buddy. We ain't gonna hurt you.
See your hands.
Samuel.
Come on here. So far clear. So far clear.
The team clears a portion of the house, but still no Samuel.
Let's take this couch, check one of the couches. Samuel, come on out.
They move deeper into the house and find the back bedroom locked. Rob's convinced that Samuel is here.
All right, Samuel, come on out of there. Come on. Sam. He's going out the back. Does anybody in the back? Go. He's out the back. Out the back. Go, 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 go. That door just came open.
God damn it.
Samuel jumped through the bedroom window. The team quickly gives chase.
This way, Art. Somebody get in the truck here with me.
Which way? Freeze, Samuel! Freeze, Samuel, on the ground! On the ground!
Rob catches up with him at another fence and fires his taser at Samuel.
It's off, it's off, taser's off, go!
A taser is designed to incapacitate his target through electric shock. But only one of 2 barbs directly hits Samuel, and he is off and running again.
Get over, go! Freeze, Samuel!
Coming up, the team continues the chase.
On the ground!
He's in this house.
On the ground now! It's off, it's off, taser's off, go! Get over, go!
Leonard and Kevin catch up with Samuel.
He's in this house.
Who's in there? Is he in there? On the ground now, all the way down! Yes! Don't move. He's got blood, he's got blood. Don't move, Samuel! Other hand back here. Hey, you ran from your kids, just shut up.
What's the matter?
I got a pin in my ass, something.
You got what in your ass?
How old are your kids that you left back there?
2 years old,
Where's Mom?
she's at work.
Samuel left behind 2 small children when he ran. Rob makes this an immediate priority.
Hey, I'm gonna go back and check on the kids. They got two-year-olds back there.
Where are they at?
They're in the house. He left them and dove through the window. Take my car. Got 2 babies unattended. Hey guys, you guys okay? You guys doing okay? I'm gonna get a hold of your mommy, okay?
Once we get him into custody, who cares about him at that point? I mean, he's detained, so one of the guys will stay with him. Now we really got to get back and take care of those kids. I mean, because they're just kids. They didn't put themselves in that situation. He put them in that situation. I mean, you know, be a man and just give up at that point.
Rob holds no grudge against the dog that tried to bite him earlier, who now protects the kids.
After it was all over with, the dog made its way back to where the kids were, and actually the dog stayed with the kids while we were out chasing Samuel.
Get these guys.
In front of the house, the sheriffs, paramedics, Child Protective Services, and Animal Control arrive. Despite the circumstances, Leonard feels lucky how things worked out.
You know, some of these things happen for a reason. In that room were 2 kids. The door was locked, bolted, whatever. Had Rob and Kevin and whoever else made entry used pepper spray or whatever, my God, 2 kids in there, little kids. You know, God only knows what would have happened in there. You got a fugitive that don't want to get caught. You got 2 little kids, and the room is 10 by 12. I mean, it's a small room. So him going out the window was an act of God. I mean, it just took everything away from the house where those kids were, and the chase and the catch and everything else took place away from the kids.
Leonard notes that the youthfulness of Rob, Art, and Steve helped capture the fugitive.
And in that particular situation, you know, when everybody's running down the street, I told Kevin, pick me up in the van. I mean, who am I going to kid? I can't run down that street. I'll pass out halfway down there. So when you got Steve and Art and even Rob, you're damn well ahead of the game if you got young people with you and their intensity is with them constantly.
The children are safely in the hands of Child Protective Services. Art and Kevin ride with the medics to transport Samuel to the hospital, where he will have his fingers sewn up from injuring it during the chase and have the dart from the taser removed from a rather precarious place.
So what's going on with you today? I hear you cut your hand.
Yeah. Got a cut hand and a taser in my ass, too.
During the chase with Samuel, the entire time he continued to reach into the front of his pants for possibly a weapon. When we reached a point where he had nowhere to go up against that barbed wire fence, I felt the necessity to deploy the taser.
Where'd you get the taser at?
On the fence, basically the very back, far back one where everybody got hooked on the barbed wire. Going over the top of that, I got hit in the ass cheek. And then I got shocked for like about 5 seconds, and then I kept running.
Kept running after you got shot?
Yeah, I kept running. You don't ever stop until they got you.
Samuel explains that he had been avoiding arrest to make money to hire an attorney for his case.
Once I got the money to be able to get a good attorney, pay for an attorney, you know, instead of having a public pretender or public defender or whatever they want to call it, you know, a truck. Hopefully I'd be able to, you know, at least get some county time off of these cases, not, you know, prison time from this case, because that's what they're trying to give me for possession of a knife.
He realizes that running was futile and leaving the children a mistake.
I feel like in that term too, because it's like, man, you know what I mean? There's no way around it. I should have just sat there. But I'm thinking, you know, if anything, maybe I could get away, but there's no getting away, you know what I mean? I should have just sat back and just, you know what I mean, as they'd say, take it like a man, but, you know, I've always been the one to try to get, you know what I mean, try to get that inch or little cushion between myself and the law.
Some people really believe that going to jail is just not their cup of tea. And they will jump out of windows, they'll leave their kids behind, run into a stranger's house because they don't want to go to jail. And there's a classic example of a guy that just really didn't want to go to jail.
I talked to my daughter this morning, and I hadn't spoken with my daughter in like 6 months. I hadn't seen my daughter in 6 months, and I spoke with her today, and now I'm not even going to be able to, now I'm not going to be able to probably see her other than through some glass.
Coming up, no rest for the weary as Rob, Leonard, and the team attempt to take down 2 more wanted individuals.
Yeah, I'm going to call this Ruben Rodriguez and see if I can set up a come help me fix my kitchen appointment.
Leonard and Rob move on to their next case, Ruben Rodriguez. He missed court on a DUI charge weeks ago. Although Rob says Ruben's DUI charge is a relatively minor offense, Leonard and Rob have learned to take the same precautions with every skip regardless of their charges or history.
Doesn't matter whether he's wanted for homicide or wanted for a DUI, he still has to go in with the same mindset. Typically some of the ones that have smaller crimes are some of the hardest ones and the ones that put up the biggest fight, just because of the fact that they don't know what to expect.
The search for Rodriguez begins at his last known address. Rob and team members Art Battle and Steve McGee drive to Alverta, 10 miles north of home base in Sacramento.
Yeah, out here in Alberta, that's, you know, a lot of open land. It's good and bad. I mean, it's bad because they see us coming from a long ways away, but it's good because we can see them running from a long ways away. And where are you gonna go? It's all open.
They prepare to hit the house. Rob briefs the team.
He's 5'6", 175, brown and brown. He's got a skull on the right side of his chest. So something right here.
Rob updates Leonard on the situation.
Supposed to be a kitchen designer, kitchen installer.
Okay, give me the phone number.
Leonard calls a phone number on Ruben's bail application to find out if he's home at this very moment.
In order to be able to, you know, what some of the guys call pretext calls, scams, things of that nature, you have to have a savvy, an intuition. From the time the person answers the phone, says hello, you have to decide. You can't pre-plan anything, because if you pre-plan, you're going to screw it up. You have to be able to go with something right away.
He's so good that I don't know how he separates it from his personal life, you know. I mean, he lies half the time to the world, I think, you know. He's really, really good.
To his surprise, Ruben answers the phone. Knowing Ruben does kitchen repairs, Leonard gets him talking about doing a job for him.
The thing about scamming somebody that a lot of people that watch the shows and things of that nature say, well, you know, isn't that illegal? Isn't that against the law? Isn't this that? If you will listen to some of the scams that I portray myself in, or some of the stories that I tell, they're so close to reality that they're not anything other than the guy's wishful mind creating his desire to believe what he's hearing.
While Ruben's distracted on the phone, Rob and the team move in.
Is Mr. Rodriguez in here?
No.
No?
Is he here?
Yeah. So you live here? Stay here?
He rents a room for me.
Oh, okay. This is his
I own
truck
the
here.
property. Yeah.
It appears that Rodriguez is not home. Steve and Art search for clues in Rodriguez's truck.
No, could you give that to me, please?
Leonard tells Ruben that he'll call him the next day to set up an appointment to discuss a fake kitchen remodel. Rob would just as soon have Ruben in custody right now, rather than waiting for the setup tomorrow.
I can't say I'm gonna sleep easy tonight. But I think we got Ruben where we want him. I think he'll follow through on his contracting job, so we'll be able to set him up relatively easy. That's just kind of the way it goes in this game. Patience is a virtue. I mean, you got to use it and just strike when the timing's right.
The next morning, before the team looks for Ruben, they must head to Marysville, 40 miles north of Sacramento, in search of Scarlett Austin. Scarlett has a last known address in California. Her warrant is out of Utah, and she has family ties in Oklahoma. Rob fears that she's no longer in California, and that he may have to travel to Oklahoma to find her. The team has no picture, but between her physical description and the make and model of her car, they should be able to find her. No one's home, so Rob speaks to the apartment manager to try to get any information that will help locate Scarlett.
My manager said currently staying with Dad over here on Main Street until they can save up enough money to go to Oklahoma, and that they're actually going to Oklahoma to outrun this thing.
Rob tries a phone number for a family member with an Oklahoma area code and asks for a relative.
Ow. Hello? Yeah, can you hear me? Oh, okay. That was loud. Is me in? Hello? You hear me? Hello? Hello? Just walking in the door. In Oklahoma. So we all got one change of underwear, right? Let's go for Oklahoma.
Scarlett appears to have made it back to Oklahoma.
Yeah, she probably figures she'll get a little time out of it. And the farther away she is, the less she has to worry about it. She probably figures that they won't be able to find her or bring her back.
Coming up, Rob races to Sacramento to make one pickup and prepares for a 1,000-mile journey for another.
I'm 100% positive this is the place that they were at.
Scarlett Austin has left California, and the team believes she is now in Oklahoma. But first, it's time to bring Ruben Rodriguez back to justice. Leonard is poised to set him up for an arrest.
Yeah, I'm going to call this Ruben Rodriguez and see if I can set up a come help me fix my kitchen appointment so that Rob can be sitting there waiting for him. Okay, what's the address of that house right over there?
Leonard picks an address just blocks away from the office to meet Ruben.
Between Aladdin and the corner.
You don't think that's going to be too suspicious by the bail bonds?
Well, yeah, but it's just real close. It's real close.
Leonard has over 25 years of experience scamming wanted people over the phone.
You have to be able to go with something right away. And then you have to be able to shift gears as you're moving. And obviously, sometimes I do those things to get them close to an office and sit back and say, hey, what do you think of that, you know, and watch other people just be in awe of the master at work.
He makes the call.
This is Bill Cherry. I spoke to somebody about a kitchen remodel yesterday on an old Victorian. Yeah, I'm going to be over at the house today. What time would be convenient for you? It's 9th Street, downtown Sacramento. What are you driving? Okay. Blue van? Okay, I'll flag you down if you go by. Alrighty. Yeah, it shouldn't take you but 15 minutes. Alright, you bet.
Blue van, huh?
They're gonna jump in their van and run down there right now.
He's on his way.
The team heads out to beat Ruben to the location.
Try to beat him over there and pick him up when he shows up. He's supposed to be driving a blue or gray van. We don't have a picture of this guy. He came up really quick. So we don't have anything to go off of as far as that, but I mean, we know the kind of vehicle he's going to show up at. We know where he's going to show up at. We got a basic description of him, so it shouldn't be too hard to pick him up. I don't really like doing it without a picture, but sometimes you gotta do it.
Everyone gets in position. They wait for a blue van.
Ruben Rodriguez, 5'15", 55, Hispanic male, 5'6", 175, brown and brown, skull on right side of the chest. Blue van is 2 blocks away now. As it gets closer, this might not be a van, it might be a Explorer or something else. Yeah, never mind. It was a blue Explorer.
Minutes later, another van approaches.
Okay, I got a blue van. Might be good. He looks like he's looking for someplace. He's kind of lost. No, it's Asian guy. No, scratch that. That's not him.
It seems as though when we're looking for a certain car, that you never see the car before, and then all of a sudden you see them on every corner, you see one down the street, and you see a million of them.
And another.
Okay, we got a possible van looking for someplace. Making the turn. Looks about right age for our driver. I think this is probably it. No, continued on. But he went around the block once.
And one more.
Once again, maybe another bluish gray van coming up. They're backing up. This is probably gonna be it. Let's let him get the car stopped and go ahead and get out. Yeah, it's probably gonna be him. Okay. Ruben.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good.
What are we filming here?
Well, you got a warrant for your arrest, bud. No? For your DUI? What's wrong? Yeah, your weapon's on here. Yeah. Okay. You go to court.
I hired an attorney to go to court.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Well, what's your attorney's name?
This is great.
Is he a public defender or a private
No,
attorney?
she's a court. She's a paid attorney.
Paid attorney?
Yes.
Well, the court's saying that you missed on I believe the 20th. I'll have to look, but
Can I call her? Damn. Man, all you guys had to do is call me. I'd have come down. Now, I understand. I need you guys doing your job.
Yeah, he sounds pretty genuine about that, you know. I don't think he would lie, because like he said, he's working, and his attorney's supposed to be going for him while he's at work during the day, which makes a lot of sense. I tend to believe him a little bit.
I got a phone call to do a kitchen for these gentlemen, and when I show up here, it's the fugitive squad. I missed a court date on the 20th. My attorney didn't show up. My attorney from Sacramento, who I paid and retained, didn't show up for a court hearing. Now I am going to Auburn to face a skipped court date, I guess. They could have called me and said, hey, you missed a court date, you need to appear. It would have been, and I'd have showed up. It would have been easier than doing this here, and I would have appeared. This tricked me into showing up downtown to arrest me, you know. I don't miss court dates.
I'm not going to imply that you can't believe a fugitive that's on the run calling you and telling you he's coming in. But I'll tell you one thing, if I had to rely on individuals that are on the run, that are fugitives, to keep their word that, hey, I'll be in tomorrow morning, I'll take care of this, I think my daughter would have gone to community college instead of Stanford.
Leonard's scamming abilities are, you know, the best in the world. I mean, he can really pretty much make you as a person forget that you're wanted and walk into the bail office to wash the windows. I mean, that's how good he is. He can scam just about anybody anywhere. So obviously when we're on a roll like that and it works out like that, I mean, it's just easier. You know, person comes thinking they're gonna do a job, last thing in their mind is anybody coming up on them and taking them to jail.
Leonard and Rob make plans on who to send to arrest Scarlett Austin, who is supposedly living in Oklahoma.
The case at hand, we're gonna actually pick her up in Oklahoma, transport her all the way to Utah and book her into the jail, and then come all the way back to California. So in this case, it's just easier to drive her than to have to deal with all the federal complications of having to fly to these different locations.
The plan is set. Leonard will stay in California to work the phones, and Rob will travel alone to keep expenses down. This arrangement has worked well in the past, with the ex-cop Rob working the field and Leonard, a master on the phone, doing what he does best from the office.
Whenever I send somebody out, I'm always imagining what can go wrong. Is there a possibility somebody can get hurt? The worst thing in the world that could happen is somebody out there get hurt that I'm responsible for that person being out there. There's no amount of money worth that. And it's not like these people around me are strangers. It's like, you know, they're working with you. You trust your life to them, they trust their life to you. So, you know, if they're going to a house and they're going in that door in front of me, they're protecting me. So I'm supposed to do the same thing when they're out on the road. I'm supposed to make sure they don't get involved in something that goes wrong with law enforcement, something that goes wrong with the bad guys. They're trusting that when I tell them go here, that I'm not leading them into a bad situation.
Rob takes a flight to Oklahoma from Sacramento. He plans to find Scarlett and drive her back to Utah where she's wanted. Over the years, late-night flights and drives have become commonplace for Rob.
Well, we left early this afternoon from Sacramento. We flew into Oklahoma. It's like 10 o'clock at night now. There's nowhere we won't go, so it's just a matter of time to get there. I mean, it's just one more trip. We started this morning. Hopefully we'll be back in town, in our town, maybe Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, we've got a lot of driving to do.
Leonard is used to dealing with Rob's road trips in his own way.
I generally stay up, or if I catch a half-hour sleep or something like that, I make sure that I'm awake about when they're getting somewhere so that I can call them and say, hey, are you there yet, or are you about there?
Rob drives 2 hours from the Oklahoma City airport to the small town of Crowder, Oklahoma, where Scarlett supposedly lives. After a couple hours sleep, Rob gets right to it.
I'm looking for green Ford midsize vehicle with California plates. And we're looking for Scarlett. This small town, everybody uses P.O. boxes for the address. So coming up with a physical address is gonna be a little tough.
Without a solid address, Rob talks to the post office in hopes that they can connect her P.O. box to her physical address. The post office isn't able to help him.
Well, in small towns like this, everybody knows everybody. You know, I'm sure the postmaster's one guy and he knows everybody by name. So as soon as you start asking for people, then they're getting phone calls before you ever get to them. So what I don't want is I don't want her to know that we're here and have her start bouncing around, going to different friends' houses that we don't know about, you know. I want this to stay a surprise.
Rob calls local law enforcement for help.
Well, I called the Sheriff's Department for Pittsburgh County, found 2 misdemeanor warrants out of Tulsa. Everything comes back to the P.O. box.
Complicating things further is a new address the Sheriff's Department gave Rob in Kansas.
I have a physical address in Kansas. However, I don't want to drive the 4 hours until we burn this completely out. I mean, this is where we knew she was 3 to 4 weeks ago. We have the number to the house where I originally called, which, you know, last thing we would do is run the scam call in there, because then that's a make or break. I mean, it's either gonna point us to Kansas and we're gonna have to hurry up and get up there, or it's gonna lead us to her here, or it's gonna blow the whole thing wide open, you know, and they're gonna know, and, you know, game on.
Coming up, Rob moves in on Scarlett. Rob is in the small town of Crowder, Oklahoma, on the trail of Scarlett Austin. He's having trouble pinpointing her location, and a new address in Kansas adds to his frustration. Rob calls Leonard back in California to bring him up to speed.
This address that is supposed to be whatever isn't going to match anything here. I do have a cell phone number, correct, that goes to the house.
Leonard decides to try and scam Scarlett into giving up her address over the phone.
we have a delivery that we have to make, but we're having a bit of a problem. It's a kind of a rural area, it seems, as to where you live, unless we've got it totally wrong. Okay, yeah, what we need is physical directions on how to get there so we can get it delivered. Otherwise, we have to send it back to whoever sent it in for delivery. Okay, that'd be fine. Thank you. Okay, you bet. Did you get that?
I'm racing. I don't know how you pulled that out.
Leonard's scam call is successful, and it now appears that Scarlett is staying in Canadian Oklahoma, 5 miles from Crowder, much closer than Kansas.
Well, she's here. I'm just trying to get to her now. I gotta say, Leonard's amazing when it comes to pulling stuff back out of what I thought was gonna be hopeless. Started off with a thing about delivering a special letter, and you know, I mean, obviously it's gonna go to the P.O. box. And so she gives the P.O. box, and well, what if this was just a special thing? Well, then you'd have to get off on this exit, go, and you just pulled it out. So I said, well, she's gonna have to sign for it. So well, she's here right now.
Time is of the essence. Rob worries that Scarlett will figure out the call was a scam.
When it got into the directions, it was towards the end of the conversation, obviously. And so, yeah, they could be talking about it right now and come to the conclusion that, no, that doesn't sound right. We gotta get the hell out of here.
As he gets close to Scarlett's location, Rob pulls over to get ready.
There's a big white gate, you're right. Oh, there's the gray and white trailer house. How about that? You're right. No cars in the driveway, though. I bet you they... Well, I bet you they split as soon as it called.
The only problem? There's another home nearby that also fits the description.
Yeah, there is an almost identical one. Just past the T. It would go for gray and white, just like the first one.
Rob tries to figure out which house to approach. Leonard runs another call to get better directions.
Is the lady there that I talked to earlier today?
Rob calls Leonard on the other line.
Oh, okay, because I was trying to figure out what she had said about this, Oh, she said something. Okay, she had said something, could you hold on a second, please? Hold on. Yellow.
Hey, I don't know if I should push this anymore because, I mean, she already knows that it's all BS.
Okay, but the mom's in the background.
Oh, I know, but they're on a cell phone. That doesn't mean they're anywhere near the house anymore. That's the problem.
Okay.
I mean, there's no cars there at either place. I mean, maybe if you say that, you know...
I'm gonna have her call me back.
Call the driver and... Well, I know, but they're calling from a cell phone. It's not gonna do any good. I was saying, unless they, unless you say that, you know, you call back and then say, hey, you know what? The driver, when he has to sign them off, has the tickets.
Okay, let me do this. Okay. Yellow? Okay, that was the driver that they sent out.
Rob sits and waits from a spot where he has a clear view of the road leading to the house.
Nah, it's just, you know, it's one of those things. I mean, it sucks, but that's just part of the game. I mean, the only reason it sucks, and it's not even a big deal, the only reason it sucks and there's even pressure is the fact that we're in another part of the United States. We want to get it done and get on the road because we got a long drive ahead. You know, we don't want to sit here for 24 hours and then drive 10 hours.
Back in the office, Leonard also waits.
I'm gonna rest my head for a few minutes here.
After hours of waiting, Rob sees a car matching the description drive into the home. Leonard tells him to hit the house.
Yellow.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go. That's them. That's gotta be it.
Rob moves in, and Leonard waits anxiously.
You don't know what this is like, do you? I mean, I am sitting here, watching him knock on the door, beat on the door, deciding, okay, now he just kicked it. In the meantime,
Where's our fugitive?
Howdy. I need to talk to Scarlett.
Until you know what has happened, it's just very difficult to put your mind on the whale.
Come on, don't do this for any kid. I got a felony warrant, and I'm gonna take you to jail.
For what?
For your warrants out of Utah. Okay, but let's not do this in front of your kid and be stupid, okay? You understand? I mean, we can do this.
Can I see a warrant?
Sure, I'll show you all the kind of paperwork you want. That's you. You're wanted. You got a felony warrant out of Utah. Remember? You know what it's about.
They told me all that stuff was dropped.
No, come on. I'm not gonna.
Can we do it just a minute till my husband gets here, please?
We're gonna go right now, but what I'm saying is I would rather not cuff you in front of your kid and do all that stuff. Okay? Yep. You're ready with it. Okay. Come on over here and just finish your cigarette.
Finally, Leonard gets the call.
You got her?
There.
Okay. Good.
Even from nearly 2,000 miles away, Leonard is pumped up.
Like a Russian ballet. Yes, the crescendo just came down.
Scarlett is surprised to find that her legal issues have not been resolved.
A total surprise, yeah. I didn't know of any legal issues that I had to deal with. To my knowledge, everything had been dealt with. Glad to know in a sixth sense, so I can go take care of it and get back home to my son and my family and go on with my life again. But when I get there, hopefully these issues will be quickly resolved and I can be back home without too much of a delay.
She remains disheartened by the timing.
I've just sent out invitations for my wedding, which is July 7th. Had plans to go buy my wedding dress tomorrow, but that's going to be postponed for a few days, unfortunately.
Yeah, she was totally surprised, a little bit upset about it, but, you know, it's never a good time to go to jail, so. Right. She'll get better.
Rob drives Scarlett 18 hours to jail in Utah.
We're gonna travel halfway across the United States, probably round trip, about 5,000 miles. And, you know, it drains you. It takes a lot out of you, being in a car, round the clock, driving, sleeping, doing everything, not leaving the car other than to eat, go to the bathroom. It's pretty demanding on your body.
After 18 hours of driving, Rob finally arrives at the Sevier County Sheriff's Office and hands over custody of Scarlett. The capture is a fresh reminder for Leonard of why he's dedicated his life to this business.
The adrenaline rush is unbelievable. It's just, you know, it's just jubilation. You know, you've done it. I mean, the adrenaline is just, if you're an adrenaline junkie, it's just unbelievable. And I've said it 1,000 times. I've said it on television. I've said it in radios. When you make that arrest, or when the person you're working with makes that arrest, it's unbelievable.
After taking down 3 wanted individuals and an exhausting trip across the U.S., Rob reflects on the challenges of working with a partner who sees bounty hunting as the most essential part of his life.
There's nothing more important to him than bounty hunting. And you're either on that program or you're not involved. He has an uncanny way of changing something that affects me, you know, I mean, no matter what it is. You know, it could be something as simple as I just want to have dinner tonight with my family, and he will find some reason to be sitting on the house tonight, you know, I mean, it's just the way he is. And I'm not so much sure that that's not what he enjoys doing, too. That adds to the controversy, and he likes the friction, he likes the animosities, and it's just, I think that's part of him.
Only time will tell if this successful team will grow together or tear itself apart from within.
Everybody has a different attitude as to what they want out of bounty hunting. And, you know, what they want out of it is basically what they put into it. I might not agree, and I might give him advice on what he should or shouldn't do. It's up to him. whether he listens or heeds my advice or not. But don't come to me and ask me for pay and not expect you to work 24/7. Because if you work for me, I will drive you into the ground.